Hi, I'm Derry Botang. For my final media project, I'll be looking at gender inequality in our modern day society and my role as the DOP in our short film. Have you ever thought of what it would be like if we lived in a world where we treated each other equally? A world where everyone is accepted? A world where no one has to worry about getting treated unfairly because of their gender? And by achieving gender equality, we believe that other social matters can be solved as well. But the truth of the matter is, we live in a world where gender inequality can be found anywhere. In a book by Iris Bonet, called What Works Gender Equality by Design, it mentions how we follow hurting behaviours of others, which informs us to what is normal, appropriate, or beneficial to do is seen as the norm, and it's accepted in society, then no one wants to be the odd one that doesn't accept what everyone else does. In my research and my own personal experience, I noticed that when we're younger, we are influenced by the media and people's mindset on how each gender should behave. We are told how to act, and in accordance, we share our ideas with others, which affects their lives. Younger kids can easily be influenced, which is why media plays a major role as to why we think a certain way. Here are a few examples which plays into the stereotype.
Let me ask you, do you personally believe that women are less intelligent than men?
Yes, of course. Why are you not interested that they are shorter than men, but they are less intelligent? Both statements are true.
I'm sorry, are you here to see me?
No, silly. I go here.
You go where?
Harvard. Law school.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard?
And I'd like to introduce the latest addition to the KVWN news team, directly from WYPN in Asheville, North Carolina, Ms. Veronica Corningstone.
Hello, everyone. I just want you all to know that I look forward to contributing to this news station's already sterling reputation.
I mean, come on, Ed, it's bullcrap. Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is anchor man, not anchor lady, and that is a scientific fact.
This is 2014. Dude, women are smart now.
In a stereotypical world, women stay at home and do chores such as cooking, cleaning, and looking after the kids, whilst men go to work and are the main breadwinner. However, this is not reality. And although women have come a long way in campaigning for equal rights, with celebrations such as International Women's Day and government legislations that have been put in place, a lot of this still exists. Analysis conducted by Harvard Business Review showed that despite the fact that both genders spend the same amount of time at work conducting the same task, yet women were not advancing the same as men. According to Evening Standards, in 2019, this has shown that 80% of big firms in the UK pay men more on average than women. Also, in an article published by The Guardian, 4 in 10 young women said it was a real struggle to make their cash last to the end of the month, compared with 29% of young men. A greater percentage of young women compared with young men said they had been offered 0 hours contract. Almost a quarter of females aged between 16 and 30 have been sexually harassed at work, but only 8% have reported it, according to a poll for the Young Women's Trust. Amongst many of the reasons why women are not reporting workplace sexual harassment were fears of losing their jobs or being given fewer hours and not knowing how to make a complaint. Nevertheless, as more people join the fight for women's equality, things have started to look up as government introduces more effective laws. Now more and more women are being seen in positions that were previously dominated by males. And because of this, people are starting to accept the ideas of these changes. As a person who believes in everyone deserving the same treatment, in my opinion, I believe that education and information are the remedy for any type of ignorance. So gender equality is something that every school should talk about and should have simple discussions about the sexist society that we live in to help eradicate some of these issues from manifesting. DOP or cinematographer of this project. I am essentially the head of the camera department. I'm also responsible for the lighting, the right angles and lighting that I need to be able to get the right scene. I'm ultimately using control of the cinematography to tell the story. It is also my job to build a good relationship with the director, which is essentially very crucial when it comes to working on set. So you'll be able to communicate, and you'll be able to work on shots that they might need can kind of come across really easily, you know. And also, especially maybe in certain scenes, if I feel like the light is not lighting up the scene correctly, as the person in charge of the cinematography, I'll be able to interpret the director's vision and help take the weight kind of off their shoulders, which I'm pretty sure is kind of a relief when you're working with a director, because they have so much on their shoulders, and they have everything in their minds that, you know, it's hard to kind of portray that or put that across to someone. The close relationship kind of helps solve those kind of issues. Then it becomes kind of easy for me to understand the shots, the angles. It is also my role to help when it comes to location scouting, because I'm essentially important when it comes to those kind of situations, because I can share my views on the location, the light, if the light is lighting up the location correctly, the angles, if we'll be able to get the right angles from, if I'll be able to have the right position to stand to get certain shots. Obviously, as we all know, it's very important when it comes to, you know, cinematography. So, you know, that's part of my role as well. When on set, it is also my role to make sure that I let the actors know that I'm comfortable with their performance, or the actors are, you know, doing a great job, to kind of encourage them so they'll be able to, you know, act better, or they'll be able to kind of connect in a way that, you know, would bring out good performances out of them. So that's kind of really important as well, that kind of relationship between the actors and the cinematographer. My role can also involve advising the director on how to put certain scenes together, which is very important, like I mentioned, because at the end of the day, like, you know, we're trying to portray a certain movie and we want it to look a certain type of way to our audiences. And also, from what I've learned, it's very important to have a good relationship with the director, because, you know, because at the end, essentially, you're telling their story through the lens of the camera. And, you know, me telling a story, I'm using my experience and my technical skills to be able to, you know, show emotions through the lens of the camera. And for example, like a lot of close-up shots, you know, those kind of shots are mainly used in movies to show emotions, to be able to draw out, you know, how the person is feeling on their face. And to be able to, you know, all of that is important, you know, when it comes to things like that. I have to find a language, a visual language that would help tell the story in the way that the director wants the story to be told. All of that is very important, you know, when it comes to storytelling. Because at the end of the day, like, the difference between having, you know, having light or having a warmer light to having a colder light, as in having a more bluish light, would portray, all of that can portray the environment that you're in. So for example, if I have a warmer light, that's telling a story of maybe someone in a sunny place, or someone in, you know, a more warmer climate, or someone in a room that's telling the difference between day or night.